You caught my attention. I think I know why. But it has nothing to do with the specific channel. This goes on all the time. He was a vice presidential candidate. I think of his name, but you know him. He said something that it's the kind of thing people just say. It's the kind of talk you would hear. And when we say like the people are kept from knowing things by the news stations, okay, and the political class. What he just said is first of all it's untrue, but there was something in it that's like Chomsky says like it's as though it's like some subtle form of like sick irony. What he said is, by the way, this is considered a very serious guy. A lot of ability to go on a show like this, and he said, look, he said I think the economy is getting ready to really have a recovery and surge. He said, "Look, yeah, of course the rich will get richer, but so will everybody else. The economy is going to surge." Of what does he think? Why does he perceive that? But what's interesting, there's no indication of why that would be. But he referenced in what he was saying John F. Kennedy, and in the sense of I think he but about hope, and the economy's going to recover, and he referenced John F. Kennedy. That's an interesting. I want to say something about this. It is it's completely unrelated to reality to say like he feels as though the economy is about to have a big boom that benefits everyone. That's unreal. But wait, the mention of John F. Kennedy brings this to mind. If we did have if we did right now what John F. Kennedy had been talking about, they've written articles that he really spoke. He understood. It was part of the mission to the moon. He understood how the economy worked, and he also understood apparently the real tradition out of which when the country was founded, the political economic thought, not from the British Empire as we're taught in history books like John Locke and everything, but actually through a long tradition of German economic thought that science and economics are linked. They're not separate, and economic development and science are that's actually how economies grow and stay stable. And as we've said, a lot of people don't fully realize why we, for example, went to the moon. Okay, it's because of the apparently living in the economic reality is that science and economics are linked, and by doing these kind of missions, yes, they're inspiring. But quite frankly, Chomsky, who was at MIT, said, if you wanted to know what was on the moon, the most bizarre way would be to put a person there. That's not why we do these missions. Those kind of missions and the research necessary for it, which is, it's basically, it's the best use of our tax dollars to go into the dynamic state sector, which works with NASA. The research that they do in trying to do something like go to the moon, whatever's developed, and that's exactly that's the real way you want public funds spent is in NASA and the research. That is what then drives innovation and new waves of manufacturing, because of the research done by NASA in order to do such a thing like a mission to the moon. It also speaks to intergenerational projects to build the economy, and also filtering that information necessary for high-paying work in manufacturing through the community colleges. So a person could go to community college and learn the skills to go into a high-paying manufacturing job to work on that component of the new innovations, and that's a boom for the whole economy. That's why John F. Kennedy was behind the space program, because he knew that. But then speeches that have been put up that are not the main speeches you hear quoted, he spoke about science and economics and a progressive agenda based on missions to the moon and so forth. If we had that, if we understood that, as opposed to this bizarre fairy tale we're hearing about how economies work, that would be great for the economy. But what he said as far as why he thinks there's hope for a boom, that's simply unreal if we continue along this track. But to take up what John F. Kennedy wanted to do, that would be a great idea and great for the economy. It doesn't look like anyone is speaking of such things at this time.